Welcome back, everybody, to Strategy Now here at MarketStream.live. I am Joe Cusick from the Cusick Group, securities offered by MoneyBlock. We're going to talk about what's going on in the midday, kind of get set up for the rest of this afternoon. The major averages right now are trading on a mixed note. Basically, what you're seeing is some traders and even some investors, after what's been a monumental move in a lot of different sectors, take an opportunity to trim up some potential profits, as well as maybe nibbling on some potential opportunities. Taking a look at the Dow Jones, the average is down about 0.4 of a point. We have the S&P down 0.3 of a point, and we have the NASDAQ Composite actually in the green, up about 0.3 of a point. Basically, if you look at the three major indices, they're up between 2% and 3.9%. If you also look at the small caps, which is the Russell 2000, they still continue to be up about 8% post-election, so the small caps are still benefiting from this sector rotation that we're seeing. As far as looking at different sectors, the financial sector has been taking it on the chin this session, down about 1.5%. It's basically been pulling back on the fact that we continue to have mixed messaging from the economic reports that we saw. We saw the producer price index as well as the industrial data come out a little bit less than expected, basically flat. We wanted to see a little more inflation coming in, and we haven't seen it, so there's a little bit of rest here, but let's just be straight here. Since the election, the financials are up about 10.6%. So bottom line is that there's been an impressive move. There could be some trimming of some profits there by traders. The industrials are second there as far as leadership. They're down about 0.9% today. But month-to-date gains are 6.4%. Again, the industrials are benefiting from what's being potentially proposed as a $1 trillion infrastructure plan. Still don't have any details on that specifically, but you're seeing that some of those November gains are giving back right now today. Taking a look at technology, technology is down month-to-date about 1.1%, but we've seen a little bit of a bounce today, up about 0.8%. The rationale here is the FANGs. The large cap tech has just been pounded over the last few sessions. The Facebooks, the Apples, the Netflix, and the Googles. Specifically, if you look at Apple, it's up about 258 today, around 109.69. Yesterday, we saw Facebook and Google up. So you're starting to see that there are the larger technology components are starting to get a bid here. Apple itself has been on a skids, down about 1.2% in November. So there could be some nibbling here, just adding at these lower levels around that 105, 106, 107 level in Apple right now. We'll keep an eye on that. One thing that is noticeable about one of the FANGs, specifically Facebook, down about 18 cents today. Not a huge decline of about 0.2%. But there was the disclosure that there's further issues that they're dealing with as far as data metrics. We're going to keep an eye on that, see if that does have a larger impact on the stock. We continue to see choppy trade in the commodities segments, but specifically in oil. I'm looking at the price right now. West Texas, the crude contract that I watch, is trading at 49.89, up about 8 cents. It's off of its worst levels today. Basically, there was a pullback this morning on the Department of Energy, the EIA report. There was a bigger build of about 5.4 million barrels. The reason why oil did start to catch a bid was, again, and I warned about this, you're going to hear rhetoric coming out of OPEC nations. The energy minister from Russia, Alexander Novak, came out and indicated that he believes that there will be an OPEC agreement on capping further production going into their November 30th meeting. You're hearing that rhetoric. There's an informal meeting this weekend. Again, I'm taking all of this with a grain of salt. I'll look at what I know, which is right now we have a build in oil. So oil is stabilizing right around the $45 level, but there is going to be a lot of headline risk. Finally, you want to look at the Treasury Complex. You continue to see further selling there. The yield on the 10-year note, it continues to rise. It's up about 2 basis points at 2.24%. And that's up about 41 basis points since its October settlement. In other words, we've seen this thing just skyrocket since the election. We're also seeing that the 2-year is up. It's basically trading flat today, up 13 basis points over the same time frame. You see that the steepening of that curve continue to increase between the 2-year and the 10-year. And we're watching this very closely because those dollars are going to have to start to work somewhere else. Moving out of the safe havens is going to rotate into stocks, especially as we start to get a better feel of inflation, rate policies, as well as the fiscal policies, not only here in the United States, but we're also starting to hear the fiscal policies of other countries and central banks that are going to be proposed in the upcoming weeks and months. So join us this afternoon, though, and we're going to be talking more about what's on tap for earnings and Tech Talk at 3:30 Eastern Time. We're going to cover Cisco, NTAP, Walmart, and Best Buy, plus a few more stocks that are going to be reporting earnings both post-market and pre-market tomorrow. So join us at 3:30 Eastern Time for Tech Talk. Till then, have a great rest of the trading day. We'll see you then.